Tu Shevat 5783, Josh Leon, aka Steve Sunkist, delving into the age-old Jewish-Christian debate and looking at some comments from Rabbi Tovia Singer from one of his things are from a few weeks, 3 weeks ago or something. And on Psalm 22, and here's the classic answer to why the sacrifices are not don't give the Christian message. And I asked this to somebody. This comes from someone in the comments there, Paul Sandberg. I asked basically what was the reason that they have these animal sacrifices every day. And I didn't mention sin sacrifice at all. I just mentioned the daily offering. So, but I'll give you his answer. This goes for sins. Animal sacrifice in the Tanakh was equivalent to a fine or penalty for unintentional sin, with the objective of deterring people from carelessly disobeying the Torah. So, it motivated Jews to take the Torah more seriously, to avoid such personal loss. Blood sacrifice was only intended to cover unintentional or non-deliberate sin, non-willful or intentional sin, which could only be forgiven through repentance. For example, David's adultery with Bathsheba was willful and intentional, and he could only be forgiven by repentance, which he did in sackcloth and ashes, but without sacrificing a blood sacrifice. Numbers 15:27-31 clarifies that the blood sacrificial system only covered unintentional sin. For example, inadvertent or negligent breach of the Sabbath, not intentional. The blood sacrifice also had a second purpose, and that was to provide meat or flour to the Levite priests, or the priests and their families, because the Levites could not normally own land and so were dependent on community of Jews to provide their sustenance. Sacrificial meat going to priests. Blood sacrifice was the least important means to obtain forgiveness of any sin. And many verses in the Bible teach that repentance and true worship are more important. Psalm 40 verse 7 says, "Sacrifice and burnt offering you have not desired, but my ears you have opened. Burnt offering and sin offering you have not required." Hosea 6:6, "For I desire mercy, not sacrifice, and acknowledgement of God, not burnt offerings." God forgives freely. Let the wicked forsake their ways, and the unrighteous their thoughts. Let them turn to the Lord, and he will have mercy on them, and our God, so he will freely forgive. Isaiah 55:7. If Jesus is the Passover lamb, as John declares, then this could not atone for sin. The Passover lamb sacrifice was not a sin or atoning sacrifice, but a commemoration. So Jesus is your Passover lamb, then you remain in your sin, since its purpose was not to atone. Okay, there's a lot of points that I could say to it, but I was just asking, what I'm going to respond is, I'm going to say, I actually wasn't asking on a sin offering at all. I was asking on the daily offering. Numbers 28 talks about a daily offering. V'daber Hashem el Moshe lemor, daber el bnei Yisrael v'amart alehem, es korbani lachmi leishai reach nichulchi tishperu hakriv li b'moado, v'amart alehem zeh ha'isher asher takriv l'Adonai kavasim b'nei shenat timim shnayim l'yom ola tamid. 2 lambs daily. I want to know, number 1, why were those offered day and night? And I posted some videos on year-old lambs. I mean, if you look at them on YouTube, they're the cutest things. They're little. 2 of those daily, innocent. We're not talking about a sin offering. We're talking about a burnt offering. I never got an answer on that one. From a Jewish point of view or from a Christian point of view, either way. I'm taking it from the sides where I'm looking at it as I'm neutral. For me, I'm not coming from a Jewish point of view. I'm not coming from a Christian point of view. I'm coming from a neutral point of view. And I'm presenting information that still needs to be answered. And with God's help, I believe we're all going to get to the bottom of this. We're all going to actually find the answer. And I'm excited about the journey. I'm excited about it. But let's see what happens.